What's going on, everybody? Dark Hour 717, and today we are going to look at rock mining on Aberdeen. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Also follow on Twitch and catch our streams every Wednesday and Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with cargo trading being busted right now, I found other ways to fill that gap, and one of them is doing rock mining. And what I'm checking out here today is Aberdeen, which typically is a pretty good hot zone for Hadanite, which is going to be the top level ore that you're going to look for when you're rock mining. Usually I'll come down to the surface here about 1,000 to 1,500 meters off the ground and just scan just as I would in the prospector. I personally prefer using my Freelancer Max to haul the rock around, as it's got a wide opening for the cargo area and easily stores the little vehicle inside. So we're just going to scan through, and we want to look for the smaller boxes. Typically they're going to pop up anywhere from 2,500 meters and below, and then you can just go up to them and do your active scanning and you'll find your Hadanite. Now, three minerals that you'll find while rock mining is going to be dolomite, aphrite, and Hadanite. Dolomite is actually quite difficult to break down, but it's also kind of a crap rock. It's not going to pay much. It's not really worth going after. Aphrite's middle of the road, a little easier to break, and it pays okay. But the one you really want to find is that Hadanite. Hadanite's going to be the highest paying ore that you can get with the rock. And here on Aberdeen, it's plentiful. Now, the nice thing with the rock is it's pretty much point and shoot. You don't have to really change any mining heads or put consumables or modules on. It's really the only choices you're going to have is if you want to throw paint onto your rock or anything like that. Out here on Aberdeen, you want to make sure that before you go outside, you do have your Pembroke armor on, and that's going to be to protect you against the high heat. And as we continue through, you'll see that these sometimes pop up very quickly, so keep an eye out. And this is going to be a little better grab than that first one that we did. That was just a couple of rocks, and they'll range anywhere from 2, I've seen as much as 8 or 9 rocks in a group. And this one here I believe is about 4, so that's going to be a good, or 5, and that's going to be a good little grouping to break down with our rock. So we'll just land our ship, and we try to land as close as we can to it. And in some of the areas of Aberdeen, you'll see that that can pose a little bit of an issue, but we're going to speed this along as we just break these down. And the benefit again is very point and shoot. All you have to do is aim on it, fire your laser, and adjust the beam to keep your level in that OptiCharge window, and then it will go ahead and explode. And it doesn't matter if you collect as you go or you just wait till everything is broken and collect at one time. And there we go. And really, the one thing about the rock mining I like is just the ease and the serenity of it. Flying around, checking out the sunsets. The scenery can be absolutely gorgeous here on Aberdeen, though I'm not a huge fan of being here often. During midday, it's very yellow, but right at that sunset, sunrise time, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So here we are just off of Nordgard, and this is one of the prime areas I like to go, where you see a lot of these dead, broken trees. This is usually the hot zone where I find the biggest groupings of Hadanite as well as the most abundant. The trick here is, though, trying to find a place to land. In the Freelancer, it's not too bad. Cutty Black, you're going to have no problem, but if you're in an MSR, it can sometimes be difficult to find a landing spot close by. And usually I'll try to position myself at the top of the hill so everything rolls down, and we'll just go through and break these all down and collect them. You'll notice that on the UI in the top left, you have the same thing that you have in the prospector, letting you know that your optimal distance away from the rock, as well as your cargo capacity, is up there in the top left. Now, typically the little rock's going to hold about 815 ore, and it can take some time to fill it up. But again, other people do have methods that can speed that up. Some people will pair up with somebody on prospector, use the prospector to break the rocks, and use the rock just to, scoop up the ore itself. Me, I prefer going solo. Now, the difference between the ROC and the ROC DS, the ROC DS is a two-person operation. It does have double the capacity, but you're going to end up having to split that. So I find that going out in the ROC just doing solo is also just as profitable in the fact that you don't have to split that. Now, one other thing that you want to keep in mind is if you are going to some of the other areas, you may want some security as well too. Alright, so there we go. We broke down that nice little grouping there. And as you can see, I'm getting closer to being full. And off. We're going to get all the last little bits. We're going to park her back in here. This isn't as big of a grouping, but still worth the stop. It was close by, easy to get to. We're going to break these all down, scoop them up, and we're going to head back out. Now, this is one thing about the ROC again, that once you fill it, you don't actually have to call the end of your trip. You can actually go into the cargo bay here, go into your interact, and you can actually store to a container. And what that's going to do is it's going to put all the ore in the ROC into a box and put it on the floor of your ship. Now, typically, once I've done that, I will go ahead and get in the ROC and go back out and fill up another one. It's a great way to keep your activities going without having to stop to go sell. And here's our box here. So we're going to pick this up, and I'm just going to put it up in the front cargo area just for safekeeping. And then we want to remember when we go to sell this, we actually have to sell it from the ship and not the ROC itself. And now here we go. We can go back out without having to stop our trip. And here's one of the downfalls to Aberdeen. This is why you may want to consider a security force. Pirates are abundant on Aberdeen. This one just came out of nowhere and decided he was going to get an easy kill. Little did he know I have my max outfitted with FR-76 as well as a Rampart, as well as 2 XJ3 distortion and 2 attrition repeaters. And as you can see, I'm just going to start taking his shields down very quickly here. He was a solo pilot and a Valkyrie, so he's got limited firepower with no turrets. But this is one of the dangers you risk on Aberdeen is the pirate activity here. Some will actually reach out through the mobiGlas to try to negotiate with you for either protection or a payment to allow passage. Other ones, kind of like this guy here, he just attacks out of nowhere and just wants an easy kill. Though I don't think he realized that I was not going to be a very easy kill for him. As you can see, I basically gave him a fight back, and this lasted for about 5-6 minutes. I actually chased him all the way back off the surface and out into atmosphere as I kept taking his shields down. Unfortunately, due to forgetting to adjust my limiter, he got kind of ahead of me. But once we got out here off planet, he just kind of quantumed out, realizing he wasn't going to win this fight if he stuck around. Bye-bye, buddy. Alright, so after that, my night was coming to an end, so I went over here to HDMS Anderson to sell, and we're going to go into the trading terminals, and this is where you sell. Another nice thing about ROC mining is you don't have to go to a city, you don't have to go to a refinery. You just bring it to a local station here, use the trading terminal, and we're going to go in here and pick the ROC first, and we're going to sell what's inside the ROC, as I picked up a little bit more after I emptied it. And then once we're done with that, we'll go in and we're going to sell what I actually put in the container in the cargo area of the Freelancer. Nice little profit there. And that was pretty much the end of the night. Again, some of the benefits of the ROC mining is it's a good stand-in with the lack of cargo trading. When I go ROC mining, the one thing I do look forward to, like I said, is that relaxation. For me, it's something I can come home, go out, do solo, grab a beer, enjoy the scenery, make a little bit of profit. I'm not the fastest at it, but it does make a decent profit. A lot of times when going out, I do have members of the org who volunteer to run security. It's up to you whether you really want to do that. If you're going to Aberdeen, it's not a bad thing. But it's definitely worth going to Aberdeen if you do it right. And hopefully everybody will give it a shot, because there is definitely money to be made there. And again, it's a nice fill-in for the lack of cargo trading. Me personally, I do prefer the Prospector, but this is also a nice break in that activity. So I hope you actually enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Also follow on Twitch. Catch our streams every Wednesday and Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, don't forget, if you're looking for an org for casual gameplay and just anti-piracy, check out ROC Mine. We'd be happy to have you. And also, if you want to help support the channel, check out the Patreon and the members page on YouTube. A lot of great reward packages. We appreciate all the support. And hopefully we'll see you in the future. And everybody have a wonderful day. We will catch you next time.